Hello and welcome to Math Matters. I'm Ms. Whitehead Tambani, and today we are going to learn ways to be a problem solver and communicating our ideas about taking objects away in word problems. Before we get started, let's get our math brains warmed up by looking at these dots. How many blue shapes do you see? 9. How do you see them? Maybe you saw 3 and 3 and 3. Maybe you saw 3 and 4 and 2. Maybe you saw 5 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. Splat! How many shapes are under the splat? How do you know? Did you think that if there were 9 to begin with and there are only 3 showing, there must be 6 under the splat? How else could you know? Let's look under the splat to see how many shapes are there. There were 6 blue shapes under the splat. What can we learn from this picture? There are many ways to make 9. Our learning outcome for today is to model and solve story problems. You can work on your communicator skills by listening so you can understand. Think about how communicators write or model to share ideas when I have you work on the math problems later. I want you to get some paper, crayons, and 10 counters, and then come back to me. I'll count backward from 20. Ready? Go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, come back to me. What do you notice about this picture? Maybe you notice the cows. Maybe you notice the waterfall. Maybe you notice the mountain. Picture in your mind what is happening while I read the story to you. There were some cows in the field. What do we know so far? There are some cows in the field. Continue to picture the story in your mind. There are some cows in the field. Some cows went in the barn. What new information did we find out? Some cows went in the barn. Continue to picture the story in your mind. There were 9 cows in the field. Some cows went in the barn. What new information did we find out? There were 9 cows in the field. Continue to picture the story in your mind. There were 9 cows in the field. 7 cows went back in the barn. What new information did we find out? 7 cows went in the barn. Continue to picture the story in your mind. There were 9 cows in the field. 7 cows went in the barn. How many cows were left in the field? What new information did we find out? We have a question. We get to figure out how many cows were left in the field. Let's read the story problem again. There were 9 cows in the field. 7 cows went in the barn. How many cows are left in the field? I want you to work out this problem. You may use your paper, crayons, pictures, numbers, words, or even your counters to show your thinking. I'll give you time to work on this problem now. Here are some ways you might have solved it. Maybe you used Play-Doh. I made 9 balls of Play-Doh because the problem said there were 9 cows in the field. Then I squished 7 of the balls because the problem said 7 cows went in the barn. Then I circled the 2 balls of Play-Doh that were left. There are 2 cows left in the field. You might have used your fingers. Maybe you put 9 fingers up because there were 9 cows in the field. Then put 7 fingers down for the 7 cows that went in the barn. Then you had 2 fingers left, which means there are 2 cows left in the field. Maybe you made a 10 frame and drew 9 counters in the 10 frame. Then crossed off 7 counters for the 7 cows that went in the barn. Then you counted 2 counters left for the 2 cows still in the field. Here is another way you may have solved the problem. Maybe you made a number track from 1 to 10. Put a counter on the number 9 because there were 9 cows in the field. Then move the counter 7 spaces for the 7 cows that went in the barn. That left you with 2 cows in the field. Let's reflect on our learning. Take a few moments to think about yourself as a mathematician and communicator. Did you learn something new about modeling and solving story problems? Were you able to listen so you could understand? Did you write or make models to share your ideas? Mathematicians can communicate their ideas in many ways. In today's episode of Math Matters, we learned ways to be a problem solver and communicating our ideas about taking objects away in word problems. Try to make and solve word problems with your family today. Make sure to communicate how you solved the problems. I'm Ms. Whitehead Tambani. I hope you have a great day and keep on counting.